The big news this week is that the Baseball Hall of Fame will be announcing the new inductees on January 18th. So, we kind of already have an idea of who's getting in. Now, baseball writers are the one that choose the players that go to the Hall of Fame, and players need 75% to make it to the Hall of Fame. Now, many of these writers release their ballot to the public ahead of time and write articles saying why they did or did not vote for certain players. Anyway, somebody had the genius idea of compiling all of the public ballots, and with 50% of the ballots in or released, Jeff Bagwell has 89.2% of the vote. So he is a virtual lock. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are up around in the 60s, a big jump from where they had been. Previously, they'd been polling in the 30s, but Bud Selig getting into the Hall of Fame has really given them a boost. You can see Vlad Guerrero is right on the cusp. He's at 74.2%. He needs 75%. Trevor Hoffman also is right there. He's got 72.8. He needs 75%. Jeff Kent's not even close. Edgar Martinez is trending upwards, but he'll probably fall just short. And Fred McGriff, despite his 493 career home runs, is not even close. Also, looking at some other players' numbers, Mike Mussina is at 60.6. I think eventually he'll get there. Jorge Posada is probably going to fall off the ballot. Tim Raines, in his last year of eligibility, it looks like he's going to get in with 91.5%. Manny Ramirez, despite all the home runs, has those steroid suspensions that are really hurting him. He's not going to be even close. Ivan Rodriguez is going to get in, it looks like, or be very close. He's at 78.4%. Kurt Schilling's not going to make it this year. Sheffield's nowhere near the needed number. Lee Smith, same thing. He's not even near. Sammy Sosa, despite all the home runs, only has 8.9%. Billy Wagner only 11%, and Larry Walker 23%. So, from all of this data, here's who I think's going to get in, and here's who I think's going to come up just short. All right, well, Tim Raines is definitely going to get in. He's at 90%. He was a 7-time All-Star. He never finished higher than 5th in MVP voting, but he led the league in stolen bases 4 years. He had 808 stolen bases. That was his claim to fame. He was like the National League version of Rickey Henderson. He also had 2,605 career hits. So Tim Raines is going to be in the Hall of Fame. I think he's the number one vote getter out of all the players that are inducted this year. All right, next up, Jeff Bagwell is going to get in this year and join Craig Biggio, his teammate for all those years with the Astros, in the Hall of Fame. Now, Jeff Bagwell didn't have the longest career. As you see, he only played from age 23 to 37. He had a bum shoulder, which cut his career short, but he hit 449 career home runs, which is less than Fred McGriff. But if you look at his OPS, he had 5 years where he was over 1,000 OPS. And he was an MVP in 1994 when he led the league in RBIs, slugging percentage, OPS, runs scored. As far as All-Star appearances, he was a 4-time All-Star, and his WAR is way more than Fred McGriff. So Bagwell's getting in this year. All right, for my third and final pick to get into the Hall of Fame, he's a little bit short right now with 72%, but I think he's going to pick up the needed votes. Trevor Hoffman. He was the all-time saves leader with 601 before the greatest reliever of all time, Mariano Rivera, passed him up. He only led the league in saves twice, but a lot of times he played for the Padres, and the Padres weren't always the best team. For his All-Star appearances, he was a 7-time All-Star. He also finished second in the Cy Young in 1998. And also in 2006. There's going to be some players that are painfully close but do not make it. The first is Ivan Rodriguez, who might be the best catcher we've ever seen all around, defensively and offensively. The problem is, he probably did steroids, and a lot of people think he did, so that's going to keep him out of the Hall for this year, I think. Right now he's at 78.1%, but what we've seen is people that don't make their ballots public typically don't vote for steroid users, so I'm thinking he's going to drop off about 5%, end up around like 71, 72%. Next up, I think Vladimir Guerrero is going to fall painfully short, possibly by a vote or two. He's a 9-time All-Star, a former MVP, 449 career home runs, but right now he's not in. He's at 74%. I think he's going to fall really short. I think he gets in next year. It would make too much sense if just he and Reigns could get in this year, make all the people in Montreal happy. But Vlad, I think you got to wait one more year. Next up is Edgar Martinez. Edgar's in his 8th year of eligibility, so he has 2 years left. He's at 68%, but honestly, I don't think he's ever going to get in because a lot of riders discriminate against designated hitter types. Martinez was a 7-time All-Star. He's got real similar numbers to Jeff Bagwell. A lot less home runs. He has 309. Bagwell had 449, but he had 5 years of an OPS of 1,000 or more. Next up is Mike Mussina. He's pulling at 60.5%, so he's going to fall short this year, but he is looking at a big bump from last year where he only got 43%. I think eventually Mussina will make it in. He pitched all of his career in the AL East, which was a really tough division, pitched for the Orioles and Yankees. Also, he had 270 wins to go up against 153 losses. He was a 5-time All-Star, a 7-time Gold Glove Award winner, never won the Cy Young, but I think he'll eventually get in. It might take him 3 or 4 more years, but Mike Mussina, not this year, but just be patient. Finally, we have Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, who go hand in hand. Bonds is a 7-time MVP, Clemens is a 7-time Cy Young Award winner. Now, they're both at 63 and 62% of the vote, and I think they're not going to get in this year for sure, but I do see them getting in within the next 5 years. The Hall of Fame has taken away some writers' ballots, especially the older ones that no longer cover baseball, and those older writers typically never voted for Bonds and Clemens. Now, Bonds and Clemens are definitely not the greatest people in the world, but Barry Bonds was the best hitter I ever saw. In fact, he's probably the best hitter that ever lived. Just look at his stats. Roger Clemens is probably the best pitcher of our generation. I want to be able to tell my kids who Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens were. I want to take them to the Hall of Fame and say, that's the greatest hitter I ever saw, and he used to play for the Pirates, and this is what he did wrong. As a parent, that's my job to explain to my kids. Alright, now it's your turn. I'm really interested to know who you would vote for if you had a ballot. You're allowed to vote for up to 10 players, and trust me, those last 2 or 3 spots are really tricky. Here's who I would vote for in the order that I would vote for them. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Ivan Rodriguez, Jeff Bagwell, Trevor Hoffman, Vladimir Guerrero, Mike Mussina, Billy Wagner, Sammy Sosa, and Edgar Martinez. Thanks for watching, everybody. Just a real quick reminder of the contest that I'm running this month. I'm giving away this 2015 New York Mets World Series hooded sweatshirt, brand new with tags. You can choose your size if you win it, small, large, extra large, or double X. It's a really comfortable material made out of thermabase. To win it, just check the description. There's a website called gleam.io which specializes in competitions like this. All you have to do is click that link, and there's lots of different ways you can enter. You can enter simply by being a subscriber. You can get entries in there for leaving a comment, for watching a video, for answering questions. And the best part about it is I will update and add more ways to enter every day. So enter as many times as you want and as often as you want, and good luck.